back, folks. All right, just before the break, for those of you that are just watching us, we were or just joined us, we were taking a look at the Promotion League playoff match between Caledonia and Roses. We're still going to look at the derby between Young Peoples and Lower Paarl. That's coming up a little bit later, so make sure you don't go away. But yes, the derby, or not the derby match, but the playoff match between Caledonia and Roses. They were playing to see who would be the third team going up to Super League C. Alistair, before we go to the second half, why is this important for the clubs?
So both these clubs have rich history,
Yeah.
you know, and clubs, even though it's a social club, clubs aspire to get better, and getting better means they want to go league by league, they want to climb the leagues.
Yeah.
Through the course of the season, I've been following Callies, for example.
Yeah.
You know, and they had I think it's called Project 23, which has started last year, in order to get back into the Super League C, you know, and then grow from there.
So, I mean, Jerome, before we look at the next clip, which is, of course, the second half of the Caledonia and Watsonia game, and then we will announce to you who won it and who's actually going up to Super League C. Also adding on to what Alistair said there, the promotion into Super League C, it's quite do you think that there's a big difference between Super League C and the regions, for example, Southern League, City League, Northern League? Because we've looked at the promotion league now, and it's when you take the three best from every one of those city, southern, and northern regions, the competition is pretty fierce. I mean, we looked at Violets, we looked at Delft, you know, and some of the other teams that got out of the top three, and they really any of them would be competitive in Super League C.
Yeah, look, the reasons or the guys that you mentioned were quite, especially this year, they were quite competitive. And as Alistair was saying, is the amount of effort the guys put in. I mean, the coaches that's there, it's good coaches. It's the players that's there. It's ex-players that played for bigger clubs before.
Yeah.
And they playing there. So that clubs are all doing a lot in what they do, especially in the community, what they do for the players and what they do. They put a lot back into the community, some the sponsors, whatever. So it's good. It's not just your typical like normal. You get your Super A that get all the sponsors up in it.
But it's changed now.
Also get that.
I mean, do you guys feel that it's changed? Exactly what you're saying now, Jerome, is that we look, even in the regions, the cities in Southern North, there was a long time that we only saw this sort of active approach to winning leagues. We only really saw it in Super League A, and over the years it migrated that Super League B guys saying our coaches need to be more professional, we need more strength and conditioning, we're actually getting sponsors. And slowly, more and more clubs across the board, out of the 110 clubs, have adapted or adopted this approach of saying, okay, hang on, it doesn't matter which league we're in, we're going to make our club investable.
Yeah. Yeah, so sponsors in your community are looking, or you can get sponsors in your community who's looking for some sort of outreach, you know, and then they attach themselves to a club. And then just coming back to those zones or the regions, aspiring to be in the Super League A means you aspire to grow your club. Because now in the Super League, the Super League C, sorry, because now in the Super League C, it's not just your first, second, and third team. You got to think you need under 20 team as well now to play in the C League. So your growth in your club, you know, you have to think of that long term now. And that pipeline that's going to come through to sustain you in that C League.
All right, folks, we're going to take a look now at the second half. Caledonian Roses, Callies against Watsonia. We're going to continue with this interesting conversation of the dynamics within club rugby, because really it is a different conversation to what we were having 10 years ago. Dynamics are different, the teams are different, the experience is different, and certainly the landscape is different. Here we go, Caledonian Roses, Watsonia, finals. points to 15, and they are secured now into the into Super League C. Right, Jerome. This doesn't happen overnight. Behind the scenes, obviously, lots of work with, working with players, working with administrators, working with potential sponsors. A lot of people throwing the energy in behind it, but also not just the officials, also the fans. I mean, what we saw there again was a team behind a team.
Yeah, that's good. That's always the success of club rugby in Western Province is the fans and the spectators and the people going. And one good thing that's now there that we've been working hard on at Western Province is the discipline of the people. There were at one stage we had people amongst people to calm them down. It's not necessary anymore.
Yeah.
People are going now, they know they're going to enjoy, and you still get the people that say some bad stuff, but that's fine. It's not as bad anymore, and there's no fightings anymore. It took a long time, so I think we're on the right track, and I think the clubs are also on the right track because they did a lot of stuff on their own to promote the rugby in their communities and to guide them about the discipline and the issues. And the most important thing is with the coaches, because they also have a big part in helping the refs. Most important, the discipline, and they know the laws.
Yeah.
And that's just the interaction that we have with the referees before the season start, and to get that balance right.
Yeah.
So I think overall, normally in the past it would have been all over the show, would have been wrong. So I think a lot of credit must go to all the clubs for all the hard work that they do.
For Callies now, I'm just going to go away from Callies for a second, because really from Caledonian Roses, all the credit in the world, have done an amazing job to do this. But I must just also give credit to Watsonia. Watsonia, Alistair, they were in the same field on the same day, at the same time. Also had to do all the hard yards, all the good work to get into this position.
100%. And this is actually a derby. The fields are less than a kilometer apart.
Yeah.
You know, and same thing with Callies. Watsonians probably aspired to, was aiming to get in that Super League. They've worked hard to get there.
Yeah.
Just unfortunately on the day, it's a team.
But the important thing now for Watsonia is also to regroup and take these lessons from this year and aim for 2024.
100%. There's a lot of lessons and positives that they probably can take out of here. And there's no reason they can't find themselves in a competitive position next year to try and go up this position.
Yeah. All right, folks. Congratulations then to Caledonian Roses. They are the third team to go up and get promoted alongside Delft and the Violets. And so an amazing opportunity there for the teams. And unfortunately, it couldn't work out for everybody on the day. So congrats also to Watsonia. Folks, when we come back from the break, it's derby time. Young Peoples and Lower Paarl and Blues. We'll take a look at the Paarl region derby. Back in a sec.